Hey everyone, welcome to another video. And in this video, we are going to talk about things students are scared of. A couple of weeks ago, I put up a story asking a question. Hey, this might be your first time traveling to the US. What are you most scared of? And surprisingly, I got a lot of answers, a lot of answers. So this is me answering all those. All right, so the first question, all the financial transactions, because I'm not quite aware of all the process. So I don't think you should be worried about the financial transactions. Everything is laid out. Usually, if it's a university fee transaction, they will lay out step by step processes. And if you are worried about transferring money from India to the US for your fees, all the banks also have a forex process which you have to go through. So if you go to your bank and ask them like, hey, what is your forex process, I'm sure they will be able to tell you. Another answer is racism. So I guess a lot of people are scared of racism, and I've made like some videos before about racism as well, on how racism has affected a few of my friends, a few of my relatives as well. um, I'll be able to link that video in the description so that you can check it out. But you shouldn't be really scared of racism. The best advice I would give you is, um, there is a lot of people who are really not knowledgeable on how to talk to Indian people, or what is cross cultural appropriation. So you might come across some racism while you're at a Walmart or while you're at a restaurant, but it wouldn't be as crazy as you might see towards, um, you know, black people, or you might see against Asian people right now. Against Indian people, the racism is less, but again, now and then you will see racism. Is in our country as well. The way to deal with racism is to know what the other person is saying, what is his background and where he's coming from. It's different when it's a person from your work, and it's different when it's a person who you do not know. If it's a person who you do not know and they are just being racist in the street, um, I would honestly tell you to ignore them. If it's a person who is at your work, I would encourage you to tell them like, hey, you are being inappropriate here, and you give them signal, not directly but indirectly, on how to being more appropriate. Another one is leaving home, setting up everything from scratch. So again, there are already so many students who have left their home, set up everything from scratch. So you're not the first one. Again, I'm not saying that as a derogatory thing, but I'm saying that as a good thing, because you already have a set path of multiple students who have done this before, and all you have to do is mirror what they have done. I've made a blog before on things you have to buy from Walmart, things you have to buy once you come to the US, what you can do, like you can use Facebook Marketplace, eBay, and all of these things, and get all of your stuff in. So you shouldn't be really worried about it, but I get it. There's nervousness, there's anxiety, and there's stress of traveling all across the world to set up everything on your own and having no support systems. I would say your friends would be your best support system in this case. So stay put and stay together with them. That's really important for you. All right, third one, missing my connecting flight. So usually, if it's a connecting flight, in case you miss also, your airlines would obviously accommodate you in the next airline. Students, not students, but like everybody miss their connecting flight all the time because the immigration could be too crazy, or people are traveling back now when COVID's over. So I would say, yeah, even if you miss connecting flight, don't freak out. Tell the airline, go to the check-in counter, tell them that you might have missed your flight because of the immigration. Can you accommodate me in the next flight? And since you're traveling internationally, I'm sure they will be able to accommodate in the next flight. That's not a problem. Next answer is setting things up during the first few days and getting adjusted to the new place. Again, the blog link will be in description. You can check it out. I have put what lights to buy, what table to buy, what mattress to buy. Everything is in there. So you will be able to get you will be able to go through that and get everything sorted for yourself without a problem. Of getting concerned by other students, I think this answer is really appropriate. A lot of students get worried because what other students are doing. Fear of missing out is one of the factors as well. And then there is the factor of competition. There are students who are smarter than me, who have more experience than me. How will I stand out? I'm spending so much on a course, on a degree. how will I stand out, how will I make my name among all of these students. Some of the universities have 100, 120, 300 people in one batch, and that makes it difficult. That means you have a lot of competition. So in that case, I will honestly tell you to do your thing, to make sure that you're tackling all the assignments, you're doing all the courses, you're doing the best you can, right? You're going to the clubs, you're attending all the workshops which the university is offering. So you worry about yourself, do not worry about what the other guy is doing. There would be multiple other guys who will be doing this and that and this and that, and then there's this habit of other people of intimidating you by saying like, oh, you didn't even attend this, oh, I went to this lecture, or I went to this workshop, and this is what I learned there. Do not get intimidated by them. There would be multiple workshops like that. I think what is most important is you have your agenda fixed and you stick to that agenda and go through things. Immigration and customs, that's a big concern of the students. That's definitely something which students are scared of. I've made a video on how I got stopped at the Indian immigration and customs, and how I got stopped at the US immigration as well. I'm gonna link that video in description. You can check that out. The point is that if you have your documents proper, if you have your passport, if you have your I-20, you have a visa stamped, you shouldn't be really worried about it. You are investing in US, you're investing in a US college, you're investing in their country, you're investing upwards of $30,000-$40,000. They shouldn't be holding you back. They shouldn't be saying like, hey, let's send you back. They don't want to lose that kind of money. So if you're coming to a university, you will be able to make it, not a problem. Don't be worried about anything. Take out your passport, take out your I-20 at the immigration, give it to them, and that's all they would need, honestly. If they ask for any other document later on, you can always take out the document from your backpack and give it to them. That's not a big deal. Homesickness, managing courses, and living alone. Homesickness is a big one. Having friends help. Taking a lot of videos of your family helps. Talking to them on WhatsApp helps. I've seen a lot of students having challenge with one thing. They come here and then they're not able to communicate well, and they're not able to make friends, and that's also a cause of homesickness. Luckily, if your course is a 1-year course, then you wouldn't really feel homesickness, because you are going through one thing after the other. If your course is 2 years, going to workshops, working part-time, keeping yourself busy really helps with homesickness. I'm going to tell you that. I think the reason why I didn't feel homesick while I was still at college was because I was attending my lectures, I was meeting my friends, and I was also making YouTube videos. So I was keeping myself busy consistently. And having a hobby like this would help. There's so many things which you can do. There's like at the university, there is like clay pot making classes, and there is different sort of sports you can take part of. You can watch football games, and a lot of activities are free, so you should take part on that, and you should interact with other internationals or other American students as well. It's easier said than done, but I'm telling you, it's doable. Actually cooking on my own, that's one of the scare of students as well. Like, how are they going to cook? How are they going to make sure that they're actually cooking well and able to feed themselves? So I think the best thing is that there's so many recipes on YouTube now. What you need to do is you need to look at the recipe first, and then go to Walmart or go to Publix or whatever, Trader Joe's, and then buy the groceries. Do not do the otherwise. Do not do like, hey, I'm picking up bread, I'm picking up chickpeas, I'm picking up cheese, and then I'm just trying to figure out what to make. Definitely try making pastas. There are different types of pastas. They're quick, they're easy to make. Salads are quick and easy to make. They're really cheap as well. Chickpea is, chana masala or whatever kind of chana masala you want to make. That's great as well. There's a lot of frozen stuff at the Indian store. I wouldn't really recommend you buying it, but I ate frozen rotis for 3 years, so I'm not gonna hold anything against you. There is a bunch of food. Again, Maggie is the survivor, but cooking is not as difficult if you're just following the recipe. Try following the recipe. That's going to help you definitely. Getting mugged. One thing I would let you know is that, hey, there are some places where you can actually get mugged. Some of the downtowns are shady sometimes. There are some states where crime is more as compared to the others. I'm grateful that I haven't faced anything yet, but I know people who have faced this. The biggest advice is do not carry cash with you. Do not carry a lot of cash with you. You can always lock the cards. There's fraud protection on the cards. If they ask something from you, just give them the cash and they'll walk away. There's also some need of that person. So always carry like $10-15 of cash, not more than that, and just give it to them. I would encourage you to make all the payments you're making from a credit card or a debit card. Once you get here, you can always apply for a credit card. It's not difficult. There are credit cards which you can apply without a social security number as well. I'm going to leave that link in the description. So what credit card does is it protects you from frauds, and it protects you from if the credit card gets stolen or if the credit card gets lost and somebody uses it. So making transactions from credit card and then paying it in full every month makes the most sense, honestly. White medicinal powder through I have the prescription for the same. So maybe it's some powder you want to take, you just have a prescription for it. It's some homeopathy thing or something. Do not worry about it. If you have a prescription of it, you can just tell the immigration or the customs like, hey, tell the customs is going to be worried about it. 9 out of 10 times they don't even care. One time they might care. They might tell you like, hey, they might ask you very respectfully, they might ask you, what is this? You give them the prescription, they'll check. They have these machines, they check for explosive, they check for any drugs. So drugs means cocaine and all of those kind of drugs. So don't worry about it if you have a prescription about it. I've never traveled through a flight. That is the biggest challenge. So I've made a guide on traveling through the flight. I'm gonna leave that link in description. This guide is, it's like telling you in the flight what you should be doing to make yourself comfortable, and also as soon as you get to the US, how does the immigration process looks like. I've traveled multiple times. I've recorded all of my journeys. You can go back, look at the videos I've made. I traveled first in August 2017, then in March, I think then in like May or June 2018, then in February or March 2019, and then March of 2020. So there are vlogs of all of that. You can go and watch. You will be able to get some idea, and I'm telling you, it's not as intimidating as you think. And while you're traveling in August, there would be so many students who would be traveling with you, so it makes your life easy. Roommates definitely, it's definitely a tricky thing to have roommates, new people you're living with, but you might be living with them for a year, for 2 years. Having good roommates make a lot of difference. If you have separate rooms, again, that makes it easy. If you're sharing a room, setting some ground rules always help, like, hey, no music after 11, or usually Sahil, one of my good friends, he used to have a roommate for the first year. So what he used to do is like, he used to just go to the library in the university and study and do whatever he wants to do, and once he comes back home, he wouldn't work. And even if he had to work, he set up his study table outside, and then once they are in the room, they would just sleep. They wouldn't really disturb each other. Setting those kind of ground rules really help surviving each other. Using tissue papers, that's definitely a tricky one. So there is something called Bidet, the jet spray which we use in India. It's called Bidet here. I'll leave a link in description. You can check that out. It's like $30 if you have multiple students living in the same apartment. It's a very easy process to switch it up, to change it. You loosen the connection. First of all, you close the valve, you loosen the connection, and then you just fit up the tube which they give. And there is like detailed description on how to put a bidet. I have a bidet at my apartment. I had it in Phoenix. I have it in Tucson as well. So it's not a big deal. You can install that as well. It's a $30 investment, but if you have like 4 people living in the same apartment, that's going to come at to like what, $8 per person, $7 per person. So it's not a big deal. Immigration, culture and documentation work, like SSN. Your university should hold an orientation where they're going to tell you like, hey, this is how you go through immigration. This is how you go through, this is like the international student services. If you need any kind of help, if you have to go and travel back to India, you need an I-20 and a travel signature. That orientation is going to cover immigration. That orientation is going to cover bank documents, how to apply for social security number. If it doesn't, I've made a video on what I did. I got a job for 2 weeks. got a job for 2 weeks. First I was thinking for 2 weeks, and then I kept going on with that job, and then I got a social security number through the Social Security Administration. Then I got my credit cards. So it's not rocket science. People do this all the time. You can look up blogs online for this, and I'll try to write a guide for it as well. Medical services there in the US, heard that they even don't treat cases well unless it's an emergency. So medical services is a little bit tricky. While you're at the university, I think the medical services is great because there is usually a university medical department which takes care of all the students. If you're taking the insurance from the university, well and good. That will make your life easy because it's a cashless system. If it's not, if you're taking any other third-party insurance, that's fine as well. Just make sure it's not an Indian insurance. Just make sure it's like Aetna, Cigna, or one of these big companies, one of these big US companies. And if it's a cashless system, well and good. That's all I can say about health system. It's not as easy as you go to a doctor and they'll give you a medicine. There is over-the-counter medicine, there is prescription medicine, so you have to go to a doctor. I've been to an emergency after struggling for a while, so I've talked to my physician through video calls, and I've talked to a specialist as well for pulmonology. Sorry about that word, pulmonology. So you just have to schedule calls. While you're at the university, healthcare is easy, but once you start working, your work insurance will kick in and they will take care of you. Currency exchange. So Book My Forex is one of the trusted source for currency exchange, no doubt about it. If you have to send money from the US to India, which is less likely for all the students who are watching this, then you can use Remitly. For sending it from India to the US, you can use just the wire transfer of the bank. HDFC has a wire transfer facility. SBI has a wire transfer facility. Any of the bank, they will have a wire transfer facility. Just make sure you check how much they charge. Initially, what I did was, since I took a loan from SBI, I had a Forex card with me. What I would do is, with that Forex card, I would literally just go to my bank, slide it, and deposit the money. Deposit $1,000 or $2,000 every month or 2 months or 3 months, every now and then. And that would be easier for me because I wouldn't really incur any of the transfer fees or any of the incoming domestic charges. But if you're making a wire directly from a bank in India to a US bank, you incur a small international wire fee. Could be $15, could be $20. So the whole Forex card thing works the best. Getting a new SIM card, internet plan, and starting a bank account. So internet plan, Cox is one of the big ones. CenturyLink is one of the big ones. I'm not sure what is in other states. I think in Indiana also we were using Cox itself. So you can use that. SIM cards, you can enroll yourself in a family group and go to T-Mobile and get a bunch of SIM cards. Then you will be paying around $20 to $30 for unlimited internet, which is very decent. That's what I pay right now as well. I pay $30 for my phone, unlimited internet, unlimited 5G. If you want to go for something cheap, Mint Mobile is great. I'm gonna leave that link in description. Mint Mobile, I think, provides $15 per month for 4 GB of internet and unlimited calls, unlimited text. So that's great. And again, you can try it if you can see if it's great in your area, and then you can take Mint Mobile as well. I've seen people using Cricket as well. I wouldn't really recommend Cricket. Mint Mobile is a little bit better as compared to Cricket. Cricket is good as well. T-Mobile is good. AT&T and Verizon are super expensive. Do not go there. And that's about it. Thank you so much, guys, for watching this video. I hope that answers some of your questions. I know how intimidating it can be. Even now that when I am traveling, I get a little bit nervous, even though I know everything is set up. But it is nerve-wracking, to travel. So good luck with that. Thank you so much, guys, for watching this one. Until then, I'll see you on the next one. Take care, everyone, and have a safe flight if you're traveling soon.